From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning, September 14th, 2022, as that consumer price index number was released yesterday for the month of August. And minutes ago, the producer price index was released also for the month of August. And it came in on the money compared to that CPI from yesterday that came in beating the numbers across the board, causing stocks to crash dramatically down to the lows of May. The Dow going down 1,100 points. The NASDAQ falling as much as 4 to 6% throughout the day, and stocks taking a major tumble. But what do we learn today about that producer price index? What do we learn about tomorrow's retail sales? What do we learn also about the consumer confidence number being released on Friday? All the latest details across the board for you, breaking live on air this September 14th on Mornings. Plus, I have the reaction of the White House to yesterday's major inflationary number. Plus, we'll be looking at where inflation's going and the raise of your benefits, the impact on the housing market, the impact on the labor market, the impact on your stimulus. Now, a whopping $18,000 of 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state. You can get them in 4 days. We're going to go over those incredible stimulus across the land, $18,000 in 4 days. It's among the many stimulus items that are available on this channel. Plus, we'll be looking at what to expect as the Federal Reserve is about to meet in less than about 2 weeks with that September FOMC meeting to raise interest rates to battle inflation. I'll give you my projections for the rest of this year and my projections into next year. They're important, and we'll interact on the live chat to take your insight, your opinion, and your commentary. Get ready to jump into the live chat. And we'll discuss everything from milk and eggs to gasoline to lobster shorts. No, we're not going to discuss lobster shorts. Waivable checks? No, we're going to leave alone waivable checks as well. $12 ice cream? No, we'll skip that as well. Bacon? Yes, we'll discuss bacon. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, it's major breaking news. It's all happening right now. It's September 14th, 2022, with the producer price index released minutes ago. It's happening right now, and it's happening on your big live broadcast of Mornings. And good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful day. The weather has finally cooled off along the shores of Santa Monica, California. That heat finally broke, and a big week is on the way. Of course, yesterday was that consumer price index number. Today is the producer price index number, both for inflation. And tomorrow is retail sales. Plus, tomorrow, of course, is the latest number on the labor market. Become a member. Go on this video. Become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Powercast, VIP, as we go over all those incredible checks late in this recording. Big day with so much money at issue, and I'm so excited for you to join me on another live broadcast. Hope you're having a beautiful day. You're halfway through the week. You got to hump day, so congratulations. The consumer price index number was released by the federal government yesterday for the month of August, and the headline number higher than estimates, the core number higher than estimates, and it caused the stock market to crash 1,100 points, and the Dow, not only the only casualty, the NASDAQ down significantly, down 600 points, about 3 to 6% depending on the stocks across the board. These brought stocks to the lowest lows of the year, back generally down to those May levels. Those were the lowest lows of the year, and in many cases, the lowest lows of 52 weeks. But you and I saw this coming a mile away. Why? We had discussed it. The component parts of the CPI, which is an inflationary benchmark, had all been going up. Jump in the live chat right now. I want to interact with you. We had been discussing, and we're going to discuss it right now as well. Do you see the milk and eggs in the supermarket about the same as last month? And I'm going to use this month as our reference point because we have one more month of data. That's very critical. Do you see now in the month of September the milk and eggs have gone down, gone up, or about the same? I see eggs a little bit much the same or higher. I see milk sometimes down, but I see other dairy going actually higher. Really interesting. I'd like to see your comments right now. Number two, do you see the wages going up month to month? I do. And then finally, do you see the rent going up month to month? I do as well. Now, when you look at all of that, is there part of that equation that we haven't considered? Yeah, it's the medical bills. The medical bills have actually gone up across the board. I don't really usually cover them on this channel, but they did go up. So what do we learn yesterday when the August number was released, when comparing August to July for the same items like milk and eggs we just went over? Everything you and I had discussed was in fact actually happening. It's pretty obvious. Just watch and see what's happening around you. You can predict this better than Wall Street, and better without having to be in an ivory tower with those windows that don't open during the day at work. The Consumer Price Index number showed yesterday that the food did increase in the month of August, about 1%, 0.8%. The rent absolutely did go up, and that rent jumped nearly 1%, 0.7%, up 6.2% year to date. When we look at the salaries rose as well, 0.2%. So all the numbers you and I just went over that we see happening now in the month of September were also going up in the month of August compared to the month of July. Now, we also had some other assistance all with that as well. We had some other numbers released over the last few weeks that gauged those same numbers, and we already knew they were going up. The non-farm payroll number released about 3 weeks ago showed us that the salaries were going up. So we already knew that. And we also had a lot of rental data that showed rental properties in the United States, residential, were at full capacity. So there's no reason that the rent should be going down at all. And finally, when you get to the gasoline, this is where you and I have been having sort of a chuckle on this. When we get to the inflation, everyone just wants to say inflation gas. Inflation gas. They have too much gas in their discussion. They have too much gas in their discussion because guess what? There's more to inflation than just gasoline. And I don't buy the AAA national average as a benchmark for gasoline. I really don't. Because it's a national average and it's based upon a lot of different numbers and a lot of different states. And if you look at the Western United States, they have not seen the gasoline drop dramatically at all. Gasoline this morning was $5.80 at a regular gas station here in Los Angeles. How much is the gasoline where you pay right now? Have you seen it drop dramatically? I saw the comments yesterday in the live chat. People said, no, I haven't seen the gasoline drop dramatically. So for everyone that says the gasoline's dropping dramatically, I don't buy it. And when you exclude food and energy, which of course includes gasoline, the core CPI yesterday rose 0.6%. What had you and I discussed going into yesterday? 1, we expected that core CPI to go up. 2, we expected the headline CPI to be flat. And what happened? It was a major beat on the top and bottom. First, the core CPI was only expected to go up 0.3% and went up 0.6%. You got it right. Congratulations. The headline CPI, which is the summary number, was expected to go down 0.1%. You got it right. It did go up, and it went up 0.1%. And then when we went into today, when we were looking at the producer price index, the PPI, the sister or brother to the CPI, which gauge, this is what the wholesaler pays. You and I don't have a lot of data about wholesalers because we're not wholesalers. We don't own supermarkets, so we don't have a lot of wholesaler data. So the projection going into today was the headline PPI was going to decrease, or basically stay flat, down 0.1%, not 1%, down 0.1%, and that the core PPI was going to increase 0.3%. Well, what's the breaking news minutes ago? Minutes ago, the PPI was released and the headline number did decrease 0.1%. And then the core PPI rose as well. That core PPI rose exactly as expected. When you exclude food and energy, the core PPI rose 0.2%. Now, when you do this on a yearly basis, the headline PPI increased 8.7%, which is really a lot, but it is a lot better. How much better is this wholesale number? Compared to the month of July, there was 9.8% up from the prior year. Today's minute-ago PPI number released showed the month of August did not increase 9.8 like the month of July year-to-date, but only increased 8.7 only. The core PPI increased 5.6% year-to-date. How does this match historical data? So this is a pullback on the year-to-date number. It's the lowest number we've seen since June and August of 2021. There you go. So this is really fascinating. Where were the major increases of the products in the last year? We learned that yesterday. Gasoline is up year-to-date 26%. Airline fares up 33%. Electricity up 16%. Food and energy up 14%. New vehicles up 10.1%. And everything else after that was up, but not as much as 10% less. One of the big shockers, of course, was the Medicare services, which was part of that CPI yesterday, of course, not part of the PPI. It rose nearly 1% in 1 month, and that was a shocker. And then it rose year-to-date 5.6% compared to August. That was a lot. One of the reactions to the news is yesterday on the morning's broadcast, the live show right at sunrise, like your one you're watching right now, was the bond market and the stock market. When that CPI was released yesterday, the bond market surged and the stock market was down about 300 points at the opening. Well, yesterday, the bond market, the 2-year bond yield jumped its highest level we have seen since 2007, 17 basis points to 3.735. So what happened with the bond yield today based upon the PPI? Of course, this is breaking news right now. Did it go down? Did it stay the same? Or did it go up? It went up even more. And that bond yield right at the time of this recording, which is about 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, well, it's a few minutes before 10 a.m. What do I say, 10 a.m.? A few minutes before 9 a.m. because I came on a little bit earlier for you today. This bond yield is now nearly at 3.8%. So it went up even more than compared to yesterday. So the bond yield at about 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, this is data before I came on air, was nearly at 3.834. 3.834, which is the highest level since 2007, and that is an additional surge on top of the board. So this bond yield keeps on going up and going down. Really fascinating. So again, we're at the highest yield of the bond since 2007. The reaction from the White House came in after I taped yesterday, and Joe Biden said the following. When asked whether he was worried about the inflationary numbers, the President of the United States said, "No, I'm not worried about the inflationary numbers. We are talking about 0.1%. The stock market doesn't necessarily reflect the state of the U.S. economy, as you well know." And this is his comments, not mine. "And the economy is still strong," he said. "Unemployment is low. Jobs are up. Manufacturing's good. I think we're going to be fine." I'll have my commentary about that later. So that was the president's reaction to the news yesterday. Why was this great news for you? It was great news for you because your benefits are going up an astronomical amount. I want you to put down that coffee and just give yourself a round of applause. You have endured a lot to get to this point, and you deserve it. Congratulations. You really do. Because now there's massive stimulus checks. Now you're getting your benefit raises, the largest of a lifetime, and it will be lifetime stimulus. Everything is coming together really well, and you have this incredible family here. They're called the Purple Power family. Let's go over why your benefits are going up so much first. Let's just take a step down memory lane. Elizabeth Warren, during her campaign for president, said she wanted to raise your benefits up by locking it closer to inflation. Then Joe Biden said the same. What they were talking about was 1 year only, 12 checks only, about $200 a month only, about $2,000 only. Now what you're going to be getting is checks, more checks, for the rest of your life. It's just absolutely incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And why is it? Because everything we had hoped for is coming true. We had hoped that your benefits would get raised up before inflation gets lowered down. And that is now happening because inflation has absolutely not gone down. And now your benefits are going to go up the largest of a generation. And remember, once your benefits go up, they never go down. This is what we call on this channel a lifetime stimulus. It's huge. We're going to go over the calculation of just a second. This is absolutely incredible. It's you. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Veterans benefits, a lot of you are going to see $5,000. And I'm talking about 1 year. Over your lifetime, this is thousands of dollars for everyone, practically. You, if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits. What's at issue? What's at issue is 3 months of data. And I've been training you on this for a while, and you knew the importance of yesterday, because that was month 2 of the 3 months of data. Let's take it back a step. Your benefits are tied to something called COLA, cost of living adjustment, and it's determined by another number. The CPI, yes, there's that CPI, but the CPI-W, a subsection of the CPI, for the month of July, released August 10th. The August CPI released September 13th, yesterday. And the September CPI being released around October 13th. Here we go. So now what do we have? We have inflation the same, flat, or higher, or going higher. Yes, this is exactly what we wanted. We wanted that, and we didn't know if it was going to happen. And all your greatest wishes have now come true. Last year, I was the only American financial broadcaster to report and predict that the U.S. economy was going to get 8% inflation in December. No one else was reporting that except me. My projections and my predictions were right. My next projection was that the Federal Reserve was not going to get inflation down and that 8% was going to stay with us for a while. I said that all last year. I said it earlier this year. And guess what's happened? Federal Reserve has tried and tried over 9 months, has not gotten it down even 1 percentage point. So now your benefits have endured 2 months that determine how much they go over up lifetime. There's just 1 more month, but it gets better than that, the news. Why is this such great news? Because the last month that determines your benefits, July, August, and September, you're living September right now. We already went into the live chat earlier in this video. We discussed the milk and eggs, we discussed the rent, the salaries. And guess what? There is no one out there that's going to be able to bring that number that you and I see out there in society in the month of September down in the month of September. Why? Because the Federal Reserve does not meet for their FOMC meeting in the month of September for another few more weeks. And even if they did something very severe, which they're not, they're going to do 75 basis point, the impact of that on the U.S. economy is not felt overnight. So this is looking great news for you folks. Congratulations. Your benefits are going up a lot. So now let's pull it back and ask, how much are they going up? First, everyone's benefits are going to go up the same amount. The same percentage for everyone. That is the law. Number 2, there's a lot of projections, and by evening to LA, I'll be looking high and low to see if the Seniors League have any commentary about this yesterday. But based upon the July number released in August, the Seniors League said with that July number, which was lower than yesterday's number, they project your benefits to go up 10.1%. I had said over the last 30 days, I think that's a little conservative. But I want to see what's happening with the rent, which I don't have a lot of I did not have a lot of data going into yesterday. And certainly the gasoline, which I was a little bit problematic with that AAA national average, which I'm not very fond of. And what happened? The CPI went higher yesterday. The core CPI went higher and went up higher than the month that the Seniors League had projected and even higher than Wall Street expected. So where am I looking at your benefits going up right now? At the moment, I'm looking at your benefits potentially going up 11 to 12%. They could still go higher because the CPI-W does not have all the factors of the headline CPI. So this may be even better for you. Remember, once your benefits go up, they never go down. And if inflation next year is 2%, they would go up another 2% on top of this. This is you if you're on SSI. This is you are on disabilities. This is you across the board. It's just absolutely incredible. I'm so excited for you. It's everything you had hoped for. Now, with inflation going up, there's some elements that are not beneficial to higher inflation. And among them, of course, is the housing industry, the stock market, variable debt. We're going to go over all those elements starting right now and what you need to know across this economy. What you need to know is, first, there's lots of stimulus, and you need to get that stimulus. We're going to go over in just a second. Second, you need to remove all variable debt, credit card debt, car loan debt, variable mortgage rates. Get rid of it. Third, if you're exposed to anyone that has that variable debt at home or work, prepare accordingly. I don't know what your situation may be. For example, you may be employed by a small business owner whose furniture in the business is all on debt, whose products have all been bought on credit. And now they're not going to be able to afford that credit. Why? Here's what I'm projecting. The Federal Reserve is going to be meeting in a few weeks for that September FOMC. And everyone and their sister and brother, I was the first to say this, is going to see the Federal Reserve watch with a 75 basis point in September. But here's what I'm the only one in financial news reporting. My projections, the Federal Reserve is going to do 75 basis point increase for those interest rate spikes in October's FOMC, November, December, and will continue with some similar form of interest rate spike throughout much of the middle of next year. Wall Street is betting on one interest rate spike, and that's September, and that's it. And we had all those comments yesterday. We had all those comments the day before. And they were talking about getting back to reality. They were talking about, well, Wall Street's starting to realize it. No, I'm not buying it. We had that great comment from Seema Shah that said, stocks are back to reality. That was the day before the stock market crashed on September 13th. Then we had yesterday where one of the, a very, very smart person said that wishful expectations are on the downturn trajectory. Wishful expectations that the Federal Reserve would lay off the gas may have come a bit premature. Premature, I think that's a little window dressing. It really premature. I mean, we're 6 to 9 months away from the Federal Reserve stopping those interest rate spikes. That comment was from Mike Lowengarth at Morgan Stanley's Global Investment Office. I gotta tell ya, the reason why the stock market crashed on September 13th was because of a reason you and I have all discussed for a while on this channel. Let's take it back a notch. For nearly 3 months, I had discussed with you that there's a problem, and that problem is that the markets have not embedded a risk of more interest rates from the Federal Reserve after the month of September. And without that embedded risk into the markets will crash and will continue to crash. And when they see the reality check hit in, it's going to crash and continue to crash. So what happened? It happened when Jay Powell spoke at that Jackson Hole conference as the head of the Federal Reserve no less than 3 weeks ago, saying we have more interest rate spikes. They ignored the comments from other Fed governors, but then they saw the news coming in yesterday. That CPI through the roof. Understood there have to be a big interest rate spike from Jay Powell. And they crashed. They deserve it. I've been very critical of them. They deserve it. You and I all knew Wall Street was going to crash. You and I all knew inflation had not gone down. You and I all knew that the Federal Reserve was going to do interest rate spikes the whole rest of the year. And Wall Street was running this fake narrative that it was done for the Federal Reserve. They were done in September. They're done in October. And that you should buy stocks. You should buy real estate. You should buy. No, no, no. The other part of this economy that's going to really badly suffer, of course, is the housing market. Mortgage rates have surged dramatically from a 3% last year, 20-year fix, to now at 6%. And imagine with those Federal Reserve meetings from September to December potentially raising those interest rate spikes 5 more times. Get ready for a mortgage rate to go to 7%. Absolutely. You will not be able to sell the home, and you will not be able to buy the home. No one will be able to afford a mortgage rate at that rate. The mortgage industry is going to go under, and so or get hit dramatically, and so is the housing market. You think the housing market's in a recession right now? You have not seen anything when the mortgage rates go to 7%. It's going to kill the housing market. Now, let's go into the big news for you. There is massive stimulus checks in every U.S. state. 3 categories, then 7 categories, then 5 more categories after that. We are up to 14 categories of incredible stimulus checks. 14 categories that yield whopping sums of money. Among them, $14,000 in 5 years. Massive stimulus checks. And you deserve this big sums of money. It's for every viewer in every U.S. state. We're going to go over all those incredible sums of money starting right now. The first 3 categories are passed by the President of the United States by executive action. The first 3 I labeled checks A, B, and C. Those first 3 checks passed by executive action of Joseph Biden in the month of March have been gotten by viewers ever since. $100,000. Check A, 1 category, 1 check. Check B, 80 to 100 checks. Check C, 80 to 100 checks. But 12 places to get them in the membership newsletter. Collectively over $100,000. Check A, B, and C, passed by the President of the United States by executive action in the month of March. You qualify. Go get them. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get them. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get them. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, go get them as well. Absolutely. The next 7 categories of checks were passed by Congress. Congressional bill passed by the Senate and the House no less than about 3 weeks ago, establishing 7 new categories of checks, E through K. Huge. And then over the last few weeks, I found you more checks. L and M, N and O, P and Q. The breaking news is that I now have for you, as a member of this channel, as a Purple Power member, 14 categories of 100 to 300 checks, $100 to $300,000. And viewers are getting that. How do you get this? First, you go into this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. And in the second half, we go over each of these incredible checks. Plus, we'll be going back over to everything you need to know about what's going on for the rest of this week. But one of the greatest benefits of being part of the Purple Power membership community is not only getting these big checks, not only getting the incredible newsletter, but also getting everything in the newsletter. In the newsletter, down around the 3rd line is the worksheets. And what do we have about those worksheets that we need to update this morning? A lot to update. Again, the worksheets around the 3rd line of the newsletter, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Here are the worksheets. You can print them out from your cell phone or computer. Line 1, inflation. So, headline CPI higher, core CPI higher, producer price index, which is the wholesaler, not you, headline down a little bit, core higher. Tomorrow, retail sales. Inflation is going higher. Joe Biden's comment that he doesn't care, it's about a percentage point higher. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous comment by him. If you're looking at just that, his comment is, I'm not really worried because it just went up a little percentage point in 4 weeks. It's been going up, Joe, for the last year. So if you're not worried how much it moved in the last 4 weeks, we'll be worried about how much has moved in the last year. I mean, that's sort of a ridiculous comment. It hasn't moved much in the last, 7 minutes. Well, it's been moving for the last year. So the comment is just disingenuous at its worst. Next, recession. The U.S. economy is in a recession. 2 negative quarters of GDP growth have been posted by the U.S. economy. And that housing recession is more pronounced. Here's what you need to know about this recession. The recession hurt is not here yet. We've talked about a lot on this channel. September is the financial cliff. But the real hurt is in January. We'll go over more about that today on Afternoons at 3 o'clock. It's a brand new show. I look forward to seeing you on that show. Labor. Tomorrow, the labor numbers are released. 225,000 new jobless claims is what expected. It's not particularly a strong labor market. And remember, the labor market falls apart in a recession at the end of recession. And the Federal Reserve, we just went over that. Those interest rate spikes left and right. In the big second half, we're going to go over all these incredible checks. Massive stimulus. Massive stimulus. 5 days, 3 days. Tens of thousands of dollars. Big success stories achieved by viewers of this channel. Dragon getting 145,000, a Rain over 150,000, a Mark over $160,000. We're going to go over all this huge sums of money. We're just getting started. What do? You stay the big second half, number 1. You become a member. Go right in this video, join the channel, and get ready for all the details coming up in the big second half as Mornings LA continues.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now on a beautiful September 14th on the shores of Santa Monica, California. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Make sure you join me throughout the day. Brand new show at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That's afternoons. Brand new evenings at 5 o'clock. That's at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then the live stream on LALATE 1, live and brand new throughout the day. Plus, join me on LALATE 2 for its live stream and LALATE 3 for its live stream as well. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, let's go over these incredible sums of money. How do you get them? Step 1, you go on the video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP member of this channel. Then get that membership newsletter delivered via the YouTube alerts Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, across the board. Let's go over all those incredible checks right now. The first 3 checks were passed by the president by executive action starting in the month of March, and they're huge. The first check is $6,500. Absolutely incredible. The next check is $15,000 to $80,000. Huge. The third check is $24,000 to $45,000. Absolutely incredible. What are these checks? The first check is for weatherizing your home. Spelly got this. The next check is also great for your home, and that is what a viewer out of Florida got, Frank Mancuso. He got this, but another viewer out of Florida got nearly $80,000 to $100,000 on this one, 8,100 checks. Insane. And then the third check, C, predates even this year. We've been getting this on this channel for a long time. This is for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. And Lorraine is not only alone on this one. We have Lynn Glenn, who got 12 months of utilities just a few days ago. We've had two other viewers get 14 months of rent, and we also had another viewer get 12 months of utilities. And Spelly got some of this money, so did Dragon. Let's look at some of these success stories for these checks, for check C's. Just look at some of these incredible sums of money. Rent, upwards of $30,000. Utilities, $15,000. Combination, Nisi was at $23,000. Now she's at $50,000. Mark was there. Now he's at $166,000. Here's Lorraine. She was at $105,000. Now she's at $155,000. It's just absolutely incredible. The next. So how do you get those? How do you get those checks A, B, and C? You become a member. You go down the membership newsletter. You find check A, B, C. Then, lower after C in the newsletter is checks E through K. They put all together. These are the ones passed by Congress. Absolutely incredible. $14,000 checks in just days. Just huge. Really, really wonderful. And then you go lower in the newsletter till you see L&M, N&O, P and Q. The highest value of any check from A to Q is $100,000. Yeah, incredible. One check. The highest payout of any category of check, like a C. C has a lot of checks in there. Over $100,000. A lot of viewers have gotten over $100,000 from just check C. The lowest value of any check, you know, I think the lowest value is probably about 8,000, 10,000. It's really high. The low is not that low. The fastest turnaround time. There are some checks that are only 24 hours. There are some very, very quick checks. And this is for you. Single, married, with children, without children, on benefits, not on benefits. Go get it. It's federal stimulus. It comes from the federal government. It doesn't come from the state. And I got to say, we always have a laugh every night on the live chat because there's always someone say, is it in my state? Is it in my state? The checks don't know where you live. The checks don't know where you live. It's from the federal government. And that's why it's absolutely so incredible. Let's go back into where the state of this economy is going and why it's so important to understand how you got it so right and how everyone else really got it so wrong. You got it so right because I trained you to basically look at very simple things. Look and see where the milk and eggs are right now. Look and see where the rent is. Look and see where items that you buy or exposed to are happening or changing. Look and see how many people are at the checkout stand in Walmart, at Target, less employees or more employees. Look and see, eyes and ears, because you see that better than anyone in Wall Street on the 54th floor in a New York skyrise office building running numbers on a computer. You're actually on the ground. You're in the store. You see this, and you see it better than anyone else. Here's an example for me. I see the gasoline. I don't buy the AAA national average. I don't buy it whatsoever. I see it here in Los Angeles, and I see your comments. I see people in the live chat all yesterday. East Coast, Midwest, West Coast as well, saying, I don't see these prices. I don't see $3 a gallon anywhere. What are they talking about, $3 a gallon? So this is indicative of what you and I see. Here's what you need to know. A recession's underway. The hurt of the recession is not going to be felt until really January of next year. The financial cliff is currently underway. And I got to tell you, the financial cliff is manifesting itself in this, we need an almost expression for it, unjustified exuberance. I like that. Unjustified exuberance. There's an attempt by Wall Street to paint everything beautiful. Everything with rose-colored glasses. Buy some stocks, buy some homes, buy some real estate, buy this, buy that. No, no, no. And I don't know where it's coming from. My guesstimate, it's coming from a lot of analysts that are from a younger generation. They have not endured a recession. They think that everything is a bull market. Bear markets are very severe when things go down. And they don't go down for 1 month. This notion that started around 2020, especially on YouTube, buying the dip, everything is perceived as just a dip for a blink of an eye and then everything is back up. No. When things go down and they devalue and then you can't sell it and then you're stuck with an asset that has lost value and then you don't want to sell it because you're going to lose money on it and then you can't buy something else because it also has no value on it, it's very severe. Housing is falling apart. It's in a recession. The home prices are down dramatically. They're down 14% compared. The average the sale price of a home in the United States is down 14% compared to 2021. The average sale price of a home in the United States is down 40+% compared to 2019. 20% of homes on the market today cannot sell at their existing list price. They're having to cut their list price. And that's just now. That's just now in early September. Imagine when the mortgage rate goes to closer to 7%. It's going to be higher. The days that the homes are on the market is growing. 5 days, more per week, per month, because they cannot sell the home. Imagine when the homes are on the market 20 extra days. Yeah, this all gets very severe. Everyone that told you to buy Bitcoin because it got really cheap at 20,000, or maybe it got really cheap at 28,000, whatever they told you to do. They ran that crypto train on their channel or on their TV show or in their print newspaper as far as they could run that crypto train, and now everyone's looking at them laughing. There is no resistance level at Bitcoin at 20,000. everyone that keeps on trying to say this resistance level of Bitcoin at $20,000 is untrue. Everyone that says, why don't you just go buy some gold? Yeah, that's not holding up either. Looking left, looking right, Royal Caribbean to Tesla, to Bowen, to Starbucks. Everything is getting hit. And yes, as soon as the crash happened yesterday, people were coming in ready to buy. Really? You're not going to do that. What you're going to do is going to stay with me and join me at 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time for Home LA. We have a big show for that today, and then I'll see you on the 1 o'clock afternoon show, the 2 o'clock afternoon show, and a brand new afternoon show at 3 o'clock. Then I'll see you with a brand new evening show at 5 o'clock. Thank you for joining me on this special broadcast where we went over the Producer Price Index, the headline number coming down a little bit as projected. It was basically flat, down 0.1% for the month of August. This is how much the wholesaler pays. And then the core PPI went higher as projected. Again, this is what the wholesaler pays. But when you look at the annualized gain, it was a pullback impressively because the July rise was a 9.8 year-to-date, whereas the August year-to-date rise was only a 8.7%. Only. The latest details on the breaking news and the reaction of the Wall Street will be coming up later today. Remember, it takes a while for this to filter through the markets, so watch the shows throughout the day. Yesterday when the CPI broke, Dow was only down 200 points on this channel on mornings. It ended down 1,100 points. Become a member, get all that incredible stimulus, and I'll see you throughout the day. Stay informed, stay focused. Thank you for joining me on this morning's broadcast, and stay with LA for more.